Hi, Dave from Audio Victims here. I want to show you how you can make fair comparisons between the plugins in your plugin list and choose the best ones that are suited for the mix in front of you. Here I want to find out which of the compressors I have in my plugin list are going to work best on the bass guitar. I used to have to line these up on different inserts, press play and then quickly move the mouse around to click the mute and unmute buttons. I was following the cursor, hoping that I didn't misclick and end up listening to the original sound, or worse, clicking halfway through part of a note. So we designed Contra to let you take your hands away from the keyboard or mouse and just listen, letting you focus your ears on the music and so you can make the right decision for your track. As you can see, I've already made my plugin selections, but I still need to match the levels, and to do this, Contra needs to cycle through once and calculate the levels of the audio selected. I need to make sure that the number of bars that I've got selected in the timeline match the number of bars selected in Contra. Here I'm using 4 bars. Once Contra's done that initial cycle, I'll let it continue through so that we can listen and make the comparisons. And as we're going, I'll unmute and mute the pianos and guitars and vocals. These are things I couldn't really do before if I had to click the mute buttons as well.
Your happiness when we all together. I won't let this end. No, your happiness when we all together. I won't let this end. No, your happiness when we all together.
For me, it's the LA2-A that gives me what I want in this mix. The Waves version of the Fairchild and the 1176 bring out a bit of growl, which I don't really want. Now let's listen again with the whole track playing. It may be harder to pick out which is better this way, but it's worth listening and just making sure that nothing is being lost.
This end, no, your happiness when we all together. I won't let this end. No, your happiness when we all together. I won't let this end. No, your happiness when we all together.
Okay, I have this set up with presets for bass guitars, which are starting points and might need a bit of tweaking a bit later on in the mix, but they are close to what I will end up using in the mix. I have all of these stored as my bass guitar compressor preset for Contra, so I can recall them whenever I start a session and at least get closer to the sound I want without wasting time going through the muting-unmuting process and not giving the music 100% of my focus with my ears. Now let's move on and see how we can find the right effects for the vocals in this track. Will it be a reverb or will it be delays? As we never want to overdo it with vocals and want to avoid a washed out mix, getting it right from the start will help us get a better mix in quicker time. This time I'm using a 4-bar loop again. Let's have a listen.
Your happiness when we all together. I won't let this end. No, your happiness when we all together. I won't let this end. No, your happiness when we all together. I won't let this end. No, your happiness when we all together. I won't let this end.
interesting. For me, the EMT and the H-Reverb are sounding about right. The delays definitely don't work here. Now let's just listen to those two.
Your happiness when we all together. I won't let this end. No, your happiness when we all together. I won't let this end. No, your happiness when we all together. I won't let this end. No, your happiness when we all together.
Now, if I was to start a new session, I'm able to start mixing, making the right decisions from the start by adding Contra to every track for every plugin that I would use in the mix, or at least every plugin where I have some decision to make over which I'm going to use. Sometimes we know exactly what we want and we know what's going to give it, but where there's doubt, I can now make an honest and accurate comparison between them. Thanks for watching, and I hope that Contra helps you achieve better mixes in the future.